Hey everyone, Dennis here. I'm your local tour guide here, I guess, on these road trips. Right now we're on Interstate 80 on exit 12. I think that was Blairstown we just passed by. That was for one attraction here is an amusement park, I think, called the Land of Make-Believe. Yeah, and I don't think that has anything to do with Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but I remember seeing a lot of advertisements, maybe about 10 years ago, seeing it on TV, especially with the local news around 6:30. So, as I said in the other video, for the avoiding congestion pricing, Interstate 80 is a interstate highway, the second longest interstate highway with a length of about 2,900 miles. Second after Interstate 90, which is more than 3,000 miles in total. In New Jersey, this highway is called the Christopher Columbus Highway, named after the famous explorer Christopher Columbus, who quote-unquote discovered America. He wasn't the first person to actually discover America, but he did popularize it at least for Spain to start people to immigrate here and to trade with the American Indians, or called Native Americans. Christopher Columbus is actually a very controversial figure. I know he's popular with the Italian community, even the Italian Americans, but in I guess, like, for an American Indian standpoint, he is probably very controversial for maybe bringing in the diseases, or even the destroying their culture, where they destroyed the Native American culture, so they had to force them to assimilate to European culture. So the length in New Jersey for I-80 is 68.5 miles, opened in sections starting in 1958 and completed in 1973. The final section to be completed is the road from Columbia, New Jersey, I think that's where we're on right now, to Netcong. So this road is created because it parallels US 46. US 46 actually originated from the George Washington Bridge, and we're going to meet it again in a few miles. And they wanted to create a route because US 46 usually has a lot of traffic lights and there's usually congested. So they wanted to create a full freeway route. So this is not built on any existing highway. That's why there's a lot of space here. It's open and a lot of woods going through a lot of mountains and hills. And usually in New Jersey, the interstate highways here are usually about at least three lanes in each direction, which is actually very good. Always like to have the center lane, probably the much safest lane. So you have the bypass as well as the right lane for slower vehicles. If you're feeling tired, you always got the rumble strips on the right to help, keep you awake if, a bit drowsy a bit. So they wanted to create a interstate highway, that controlled access highway that connects with the Delaware Water Gap with the Delaware River. That's the border between Pennsylvania and New Jersey, to the George Washington Bridge, bordering New Jersey and New York, for New York City. In fact, Interstate 80 actually had plans, the highway, to go even reach the George Washington Bridge, but it was never signed as that because I-95 took over that route. And 95, there's no reason to have a concurrency all the way until, the George Washington Bridge. I-95 is that behemoth interstate highway that covers the whole East Coast, the Northeast megalopolis, and is the highway that goes to the most populated areas. So it can stand by its own, especially being a multiple of 5. It's good enough to stand by its own. You can see that the mile markers that we're 7.2, so that we're about 7 miles away from the Pennsylvania border. So we're going to go enter the Delaware Water Gap very shortly. You can see eventually that the section is going to drop down to 2 lanes in each direction, with the speed limit dropping to 55 miles an hour. So it's a 10 mile per hour drop from here at 65 miles an hour. And there are actually a lot of curves and no shoulder. this is actually the first section that's actually completed on December 16th, 1953. So this section is actually the westernmost miles. If you exit here, you technically could see a scenic overlook. Maybe if you want to go see the woods and stuff, but you can't really see more of the city. I don't know what you can see here. But we're far away from any type of city here. Looks like we got a big sharp right curve right here. And wow, look at the mountain over here. This is Northwest. I think that is one of the New Jersey mountains here. That is probably called, if I can look into my notes, called Mount Tammany. So Mount Tammany on the New Jersey side is the southernmost peak of the Kittatinny Mountains with an elevation of 1,527 feet, named after the Lenape chief Tamaned. All right, we're almost approaching exit 4A. That is the exit for US 46, so that's where US 46 terminates. Interesting that Route 46 is a US highway since it only is in New Jersey. Very odd, but maybe it had major significance. I know that in the past, it used to be cross over the Columbia Portland Bridge. You can see that would be exit 4B. That bridge doesn't exist. There's a new bridge in its place. That would have connected cross into Pennsylvania, so it would have been like an interstate US highway technically. So this is the end of US 46. You cross over to the Portland side of Pennsylvania. So we're actually parallel to Pennsylvania Route 611. So now, as we're approaching the Delaware Water Gap, we are actually going to be dropping down to 2 lanes very shortly. Here we can see probably this looks like the Pennsylvania mountains we're looking here. I think that could be it. Or maybe not. Maybe that's New Jersey. But once we get into Pennsylvania, you will see that there's another mountain called Mount, if I get the name of it, Mount Misney, which is actually the eastern extent of Blue Mountain. It has an elevation of 1,464 feet. Right here we see is the Delaware River Viaduct, which is abandoned, used to carry the rail, I guess train tracks on top of it. It's actually considered the largest reinforced concrete structure in the world when it was completed in 1910. That's amazing. You can see that there's an exit here. This is not built to interstate standards at all, but what a lovely place. So here straight ahead, the mountains here, that's the PA side. Going back to the Delaware River Viaduct, it is the length of 1,452 feet, width of 34 feet, height of 65 feet, and the longest span is 50 feet. Okay, so the Delaware Water Gap used to have US Route 611. And this was rerouted from when it was built in 1953 until 1965. And honestly, that's doesn't really make a lot of sense. Why would you cross into New Jersey only for 4 miles and then you cross back into Pennsylvania? Maybe it was just for like a bypass route. Maybe that's what it was built for, because this is like a limited controlled access highway. Maybe that's why. But the thing is that you have to pay the toll bridge to cross this. This is not even free. So it's a little interesting. So I-80 actually replaced the route in 1965, and US 611 was routed back to stay on the Pennsylvania side of the Delaware River. So US 611 used to extend as far north as Scranton, Pennsylvania, to connect with its parent route, US 11. Eventually, the route was truncated to go into the Pocono Mountains, extending down into Philadelphia. So because the I guess AASHTO, as you call it, they don't really want to put intrastate U.S. highways with less than 300 feet. They wanted to decommission it in 1972 to convert it into a state highway. Look at the lovely, beautiful rock pass here. Here's the dangerous curves, slippery when wet. Take your time to go through these curves, but this is a very lovely section of I-80. If you come here in the fall, you get to see the wonderful fall foliage. It's beautiful. All right, so once it got converted into PA 611, it actually connects down south to Philadelphia, to the South Philadelphia Sports Complex. So you got the Philadelphia 76ers for basketball, the Philadelphia Flyers for ice hockey, Philadelphia Eagles for American football, and for Philadelphia Phillies for baseball. All right, we're approaching the final mile stretch of the Delaware Water Gap section of I-80. Looks like we got the tolls coming up. They recently converted open roll tolling, so there's no cash option anymore. So this was converted, I think, in January 2025, so not too long ago. So we got to stay on the right lane so we can go take the exit towards the Welcome Center for Pennsylvania. And it's a wonderful Welcome Center. It's well lit, well clean, and you know, it's pretty good. So we're going to take exit 310 after we cross the border. The toll here for Easy Pass is $150, any Easy Pass, but toll by plate is $3. Here, this is called the Delaware Water Gap Toll Bridge, or also known as the Interstate 80 Toll Bridge. We're crossing the Delaware River. 2 lanes, 2 lanes in each direction, and there is a sidewalk for pedestrians. All right, we can stay here. Yeah, the water down there, it looks really nice, but I'm focusing on the camera to get the first view. Exit 310, we're gonna go stay straight here. Go 15 miles an hour. The toll booths are not active, there's no one in there. Just let it scan here. It's wonderful. So the Delaware Water Gap Toll Bridge is a steel plate beam bridge crossing the Delaware River, and it was built by the Delaware River Joint Toll Bridge Commission, DRJTBC, a bi-state public agency that maintains and operates river crossing in the U.S. states of Pennsylvania and New Jersey. And the tolls are only westbound, with a length of 2,465 feet and a width of 28 feet. Here we entered Pennsylvania. Welcome to Pennsylvania. I love this new welcome sign, the red, white, and blue, and the Liberty Bell. Let freedom ring. Really fitting, really fitting. So in Pennsylvania, I-80 becomes the Keystone Shortway. Why is it called that? Keystone is because Pennsylvania is called the Keystone State, being the middle colony among the original 13, and Philadelphia being the state capital, being the place of signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776 and the Constitutional Convention, later leading to the creation of the U.S. Constitution in September 17, 1787, and ratified by the 7 states in June 21st, 1788, being effective in March 4th, 1789, when George Washington became the first U.S. president. It's also called Shortway because it is a shortcut connecting Ohio with New York. I-80 does not pass through any major cities and is very rural, but scenic for the entire length of 311 miles. Whoa, and these control cities are very small populated. A lot of road enthusiasts probably have their eyes rolling of the control cities. Oh boy, go on the left. There's the Welcome Center. Right there, go straight, and then we're gonna make a right turn. Welcome to the Pennsylvania Welcome Center. Another name for the highway for I-80 is called the Z.H. Confair Memorial Highway, designated in 1984. Named after Zender Harry, nicknamed Dick Confair. He is a Pennsylvania Republican senator serving 2 districts in Pennsylvania from 1959 through 1972. So let's turn right. We're gonna get into the car parking. And hey, we're gonna go have a rest stop here. We've been on the road for about 2 hours, so let's go take a break. Yeah, if you wanna go take a break here, I don't think there's any really good welcome centers or rest areas, so definitely take advantage of this area. Very nice. Here's the welcome sign. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video of the Delaware Water Gap. If you enjoyed this video, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more traveling content, road trips, or more tours of the place. Haven't told you where I'm going yet, but I hope you enjoy it. Thank you. Take care, everyone.